how to save your working query in KQL so that you can come and look at it at a later point of time and also can reuse it multiple times. So for that, I am here in the lognalytics workspace and I will start typing one of the tables, which is sign in logs, and I would also try to write summarize so that we can basically take a example. So, and we would use the total sign in as count, and again try to look at failed sign-ins as count if, wherein result type not equal to 0 so that we can see the failed sign-ins, and we will also try to get the successful sign-ins wherein the count become 0, and we will summarize it by user principal name to look at the same result for all the users. And we will not limit ourselves only here. We will use a operator called extend to find out the percentage. So I would say failed percentage, and what I would do is we would copy the failed sign-ins and try to summarize it by total sign-ins and try to multiply it into 100. All right, and also we will be extending the similar one for success percentage, and we would use successful sign-ins for that purpose, and we'll take out the last comma to make sure we don't give any error in the query. And the time range is selected for the last 24 hours. We will be running this query, and as you can see, there is an error which was intentional. So let us look at what exactly it has to say. It's the same thing. We have put a comma, so we need to make sure that before any pipeline we will not be putting any comma. All right, and then now let us try to rerun the query, and this time we have ideally ran the query successfully, and we can see the percentage over here. Right now, to make it more readable, what we would do is we would say we would try to change the column name by wrapping it as a string, and we can rename as failed percentage so that it looks a little better in terms of readability, as we will be saving this query to run it at a later point of time. So again, I would try to run this, and we would run this once again, and this time you can see fail percentage, success percentage, it's 0 and 100. And if we go back in time for last 7 days, for example, and run the query once again, so this time we should see a variation in the percentage. All right, now let's assume this query is something we want to see on a daily basis. What we will be doing is we will be going to the save, and this time we will be saving this as a query. All right, and when we click on the save, on the right hand side there's a new window which will pop up asking certain details. So we will give the query name on sign in percentage, and we would write a query to display sign in percentage, and we would save it to the, so we can save it to the default query pack. And if we don't want to save this as a legacy query, we have certain options. Maybe you can select the resource type where you want to save it as a tag. We want to select the category, right? We can also select a label or create a new label. But if we want to go by a legacy category, only we should define a category. So as it's a custom query we are writing, we will save it as a custom and hit save. And the moment I have hit save, it started saving, and there's a confirmation on the right hand side top saying it is successfully saved. Now we can also look at the query window has renamed as, the saved query name. Now just to avoid mistakes, we will go for a fresh new query window and kind of close the previous one, and we would go to queries, and in the query we would go to others, and we will try to find it out, and we can actually keep searching on here, and as you can see, sign in percentage has appeared. And when we hover on that, there are a couple of things we can delete. We can load the add code to editor, and we can run this. So once we run this, what happens is we can see the query is loaded in the editor, and by default the time range is selected for 24 hours, and it is set to an execution, and we can see the result. Thank you.